God damn it, that's today's video out the window. Subscribe.
Ultimate Halo.
Hey up lads and lasses, Fletch here from Ultimate Halo, and this is a really tough video for me to make at the moment. Not only because there's a lot going on with Halo and there's other things I could be covering that are more relevant specifically to features of the game, but I felt it was important to make this video because I think that there are things that have been blown massively out of proportion by certain members of the community, and just the community as a whole has taken it, run with it, and taken the trust of journalists who obviously want to get clicks. Now, don't get me wrong, there are things I'm skeptical about with Halo Infinite, and I'm not too sure about, and there have been some weird decisions that have been made about the game already where I'm kind of like, I'm not sure that was a good decision. But overall, I am a positive person. I'm not doing it to get in anyone's back pocket. I'm not doing it just because of the sake of it and I want Halo Infinite to do well and it looks good on me. I do it because I love the franchise, and if I have optimism, then hopefully I can help push this community in the right direction. But I do see people making videos saying, I'm worried about Halo Infinite. This is real bad for Halo Infinite. Blah, blah, blah. Halo Infinite development problems. So I'm going to kind of debunk that and explain why you shouldn't be as worried as the world's telling you should be. So for context, Chris Lee, the creative director, he was the studio head of FPS for 343 Industries, has left the project. While he's still under Microsoft's tenure, he's not currently involved with 343 at the moment. So what does this mean for Halo? Not a lot, if I'm honest with you. The thing is, Chris is a really great guy. When you speak to him, he's passionate. I've had pleasant interactions with him in person before. He's a really nice person. But at the end of the day, his kind of role is done now. The creative process for Halo Infinite has been done. Everything that is going to be in the game is developed. At this stage in video game development, it's about stitching all the pieces together and making sure it's polished and that it can go out the door and that it will be received well from a technical perspective. Yes, the reveal of Halo Infinite wasn't received awfully well. From more of a technical standpoint, you could argue about the mechanics, and that's probably a mix of two stories is that one, because some people will love it, some people will hate it. It's chalk and cheese. But considering that Halo Infinite has been delayed, which is quite a big thing, especially for a Halo game, because I can't think of any Halo game that's been delayed. Has that happened? Need somebody to see the project out, and here comes Joe Staten, who's taken the helm. Now, Joe Staten has had a lot of leadership experience from the days where Bungie were a smaller studio to a big AAA studio making massive games from Halo to Destiny. Of course, he left towards the end of Destiny 1, but that's a different story. And maybe people also say, well, look guys, there's been other leaders who have left as well, which is, you could argue that's a perfectly valid point, but with any big studio and opportunity that's been running for 5 years as this project, people are going to leave, even on the leadership level. There probably are lots and lots of developers just in the interim of this development cycle that have left, but because they're not leadership roles, people don't really care or talk much about it, or it's not as big of a scoop, let's say. Look at Halo 1, 2 and 3. Honestly, I'm going to leave a link in the description because it's a Vice article and it explains lots of testimonials from big names in Bungie back in the day that how difficult these games were. Even Halo 3, which is my favourite Halo game, went through hell and back, but it still ended up being the greatest Halo game in my opinion. Don't at me, it's the best Halo game, okay? So Halo Infinite will be one of these games that people have problems with. It won't be perfect, but no game is. And look, when it comes to games like Cyberpunk, why aren't people all that concerned at this point? If that was Halo that got delayed 4-5 times or something stupid like that, there would be scenes on the internet like there is already just because one person left. At the end of the day, we've seen a very, very small fraction of the game. The quality, you could argue what you want about it, but we don't know enough about this game to be making any serious judgments about is this game in trouble. Now, the deafening silence that the studio has taken with showing content, especially when content's going out of the door for marketing with Monster and loads of foods and snacks and things you can redeem, that's kind of worrying to me more than anything. I think 343 really needs to get ahead of the curve on that and really start showing some content, because at this point they are really shooting themselves in the foot whilst marketing is already going on. So I would say that 343 really need to get ahead of the curve, show some content. And lastly, should you trust a journalist on what is being said. Now, of course, yes, he probably has some reputable sources and people internally that are telling him these things, but on the other side of the spectrum, this guy just wants to get views. He wants people to click on his website to get advertisement revenue. So obviously things may be blown out of proportion. You could say the same for YouTubers. I mean, hell, I've probably had plenty of people say that about me in the past. It's all part of the game, and yes, we do hyperbolize sometimes, and God, there might be some hyperbole in this title of this video just to get you to watch it and listen to what I'm trying to say. But this video is an intention of just relax, wait till we see more of the game, make your own judgments on when you see the game, not on when some journalist says there's issues behind the scenes. There's always going to be issues behind the scenes. Video game development is hard. You've got people making sound, script, from code, you know, things like artists, game designers, level designers, AI, scripters. I can't even think of all the other elements that go into a game. Acting, cinematography, there's so much, it is ridiculous. So game development is hard. It's not like films. We've got that pretty much down for most films these days. You can churn them through the mill so quickly these days. Look at Avenger films. I mean, I swear they fire those things out regularly with no, like, we just throw money at it and it just works. But it's not that easy with video game development, especially when you're doing it from a new engine that you've only just developed and it's probably your first time using it fully as it is. Am I a game developer? Hell no. Do I know everything? Absolutely not. But I think the one thing you should take from this is relax. Anyway, that's me rambling enough for however many minutes. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. I want to know, what's your opinion? Do you think you should be worried? Or do you agree with me? And are you just ready to see some of the game? Because I'm at a point now where I'm getting impatient. I need to see the game. 343 really needs to step up and show us the content, because this community is getting frustrated and we're just going to run away with these dumb stories that are just constantly speculated on because we have no real substance about the game. Anyway, my name is Jack Fletcher. I'll probably see you on Sunday for the Q&A, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Subscribe now to Ultimate Halo for more unfriggin' believable Halo content.